because I just can't roast him. He's too sweet. So the sweetest story I think I thought of was shortly after Tim and I got married. And you know, when you get married, you've been calling him Larry, and how do you start calling him Dad and Mom? And so the first time we saw him after the wedding, I thought, you know, I'm just going to bust it out on him. And so we got up to the door. We were coming over to see you just after your 60th birthday. And I get into the house, and I'm so nervous. I don't know why. But I said, "Hi, Dad." And you got a big grin on your face. And you gave me one of your traditional bear hugs. And you said, "Well, hi, daughter." Has always felt like you have always accepted me into the family and loved me and made me feel very welcome. And I love you just like I love my own dad, Marianne like my own mom, and the whole family. And I just thank you for being so sweet, because the apple doesn't fall too far from the tree.
Amen there.
Great qualities to Tim. And I just love you and look forward to spending more time with you once you're retired.
I am Tim, Larry's son. I got just a couple of short stories I'd like to share with you. I have many great memories of my dad when I was younger. He took us all over the country, vacations, as well as the trips to the Ozarks in the summer, where I learned water ski behind his boat. One of my favorite trips was the camping trip to the Rocky Mountains, where I remember staring at millions of stars in the sky. That is a lifetime memory for me. My dad has also been a mariner who loves to take boat rides and cruise the water. When I started getting into fishing, I invited a buddy to go out on the boat with us. I thought to do some fishing. Funny though, we got out on the Mississippi River. Dad took us straight across the channel and dropped us off on an island and said, "Fish away."
I don't fish.
He came back later, and I knew then that a bass would never see the inside of Dad's boat. But seriously, my father is someone I could count on. I pride myself in just being like him, hardworking, very kind, caring, sensitive. And I want to say congratulations on his retirement, and love you, Pop.
Thank you.
Your turn. Anybody else have anything
Anybody
to
else
say?
got anything?
Yeah, I think I'll put in a 2 cents worth.
Okay. Tell them who you are.
I'm Bill. I'm Bill Hansen. I used to work with Larry at Anchor Lock. I joined Anchor Lock in late '76, and Larry shows up about 6 months later. And we established, I guess you call it bond. I was a Marine in the 50s, and Larry was a Marine in the 60s. And Larry had some experiences that, as a Marine, that, you know, come with golf and you say, yeah, you have this something you had to do. And he had a colleague, Vince Canvas, who had a similar experience in the 1950s in Korea. And so that plus the fact that Larry, at our meetings, Larry was always there, and he was always fun to be around. He had a good sense of humor, he had good stories, and he was a guy that you really wanted to see. And you know, as our career, my career and his career evolved, you know, I said, you know, it was time for me to leave, and I said, who do you want to replace him? I says, Larry. So I took and introduced him to a bunch of engineers. And excuse me for anybody that's an engineer, that's way. Engineers, you know, they kind of have a different outlook in life. But this group of engineers, and this is in Indiana, and one of the things they have to do in Indiana is play golf. If you don't play golf, you go to hell. Larry learned how to play golf, and he had these engineers in his hand, and he established the best relationship Anchor Lock Company ever had with this international harvester because of his interpersonal skills and his ability to tell good stories. And no matter where you go with Larry, he's quoting somebody. On the way over here, he was quoting W.C. Fields. And, you know, I like children as long as they're properly cooked. This is Larry. He's quoting somebody from somewhere. So when I got the email, the note from Mary Ann that they were having a party, retirement party, it was something I had to attend. So, and my air traveling days are, I've been on air once since 1983. This is the second time since '83. So I'm a reluctant traveler, and this is something I have to do. And so I got talking to Mary Ann. Says, well, this is happening. And so Mary Ann says, this is what you do. So she knows how to deal with travelers. And so she told me what I had to do, and I got here, and I tell you what, I for many reasons I've never missed this, because look at this party. You have a table full of musicians, no drummers. No musicians.
Well, you said they were musicians.
Larry's brothers and sisters, and you have his in-laws, and that's you have to be careful how in-laws. They look at here. Well, they look at you. They got very good glasses. And then you have the kid table. Some of the kids at the kid table look pretty big. And I was trying to I thought they were supposed to be all about play size.
No,
And so I'm trying to, that table I'm trying to figure out. But I consider this to be a really wonderful opportunity. I wouldn't miss this for anything. And it's so good to be with this guy again. And here's the whole thing about it. He didn't expect me. I was why the hell should you expect me? When I walked in, he said, "What are you doing here?" Why shouldn't I be here? So I consider this a great pleasure to have been here. No, of course I'm missing 4 days of Disneyland's fireworks. And, but I guess I'm gonna have to live with that. But it's difficult to find the right words, but I find this is just a wonderful opportunity. And I say, Mary Ann, I thank you for inviting me.
we're pleased to have you, Bill. Thank you.
And my PS is, I told the family table that Mary Ann has spoiled Larry. And you know what they all said? Really?
Okay, Frank's got something to say. Frank's new partner in crime, Larry and Frank, the deadly duo here.
Well, actually, I've known Larry for like 25 years now. And I've played with Rich Lilly and John Letty, Al Snell, and they're just a great bunch of guys. They don't argue with you, with anybody, they get along. I never saw one argument in all the times I've been with you guys. And that's always a plus. They have nice musicians. But Larry, people, when you talk about drums, people don't realize how important it is to keep time. Because when the drummer's off, the whole band's off, or the bass player. These two guys hold the whole deal, but yet they're not musicians, as you said, sir. But anyway, I like to say that, Larry's a great guy, and I love you, Larry, and you've always been kind, and I'm glad we could run into each other, because I don't like not nice people. So thank you, Larry, for everything. You're a great
Thanks, Frank.